It is the energy that sustains it, and it is the force that will bring it back together again at the big crunch, at which point it is postulated that it will all begin again. One thing that does seem remarkable is that the sound of the Big Bang is said to still be audible in the universe today. They tell us that we can see it in the white noise of the TV screen and hear it on radio waves in the background. It is the idea that this sound of the Creator can be experienced by the adept that beckons the initiate. To many scientists, there ought to be no philosophical or theological musings on the facts, just the facts, whatever they may be. And yet, even those supposedly cold, analytical minds chew the fat on the question of who planted the dynamite. And why should a creator be taken out of any scientific equation? After all, if science is the search for truth and understanding of our place in the universe, then we should never rule out an intelligence higher, smarter, or more powerful than ourselves. The unfortunate thing is that the current facts don't help us in deciding whether there was a creator or not. Real evidence would be as clear as black or white, and it isn't there at present. Something planted the dynamite of the Big Bang, didn't it? Or was it an accident? If so, where did all the stuff come from in the first place? The questions have still not been satisfactorily answered by scientists because they simply don't have the answers. And yet, just because we have questions does not necessarily mean they are nor should be answers. We are more often than not left with that very human thing, experience. It is the feeling, emotion, and connection to something that forces the mind of the individual to come to an acceptance that he is not alone, and is in fact united to something much bigger than himself. The sacred nature of the secret society implies that they have the ultimate answer to these questions. There is often no argument against the faith and belief which comes from such emotion other than the psychiatrist who tells us we have tripped or had an hormonal overdose. In the end, as it has always been, the choice is one of free will to believe or not to believe. So, moving on from the beginning, we find that this peculiar thing called a word was there at the beginning, that it was with God, because it was God. So God is a word. So what is a word? Well, in the actual proper translation of the original Greek, we discover that it means saying. It comes from the Greek word logos, 500 years before Christ. Heraclitus said that logos was the source and fundamental order of the cosmos. All existence and the creative spark itself was the logos, something that Islam holds to. It also means the inward intention of action, the moment before we actually speak. It is the impulse, the energy thought made real. It is incredibly powerful, and it is the secret word of the ancient occult societies. Words such as logo and logic are derived from this small word, revealing the spark it has itself created. A logo is a symbolic device used to represent a meaning. It spells out for those who recognize it what is the intention of the owner. It is a symbol, and it is more powerful than any words. The symbols of the secret societies reveal these inner secrets. Logic is something that is derived from being able to speak or reason and argue. We are assumed to be intelligent because we can voice our thoughts. We can give external life to internal thoughts, but so can animals. When my dog is fearful, he will bark and growl. He too is making external his inner emotions. But he cannot argue points of interest. He can't express beliefs, whether esoteric or exoteric. That is the human domain, and so logos would not be applied to the bark of a dog. It is something more. So, whatever this word was in the beginning, it was conscious, thoughtful, and gave voice to his inward musings. It created something by externalizing inner thoughts. In fact, we are all gods in this respect, because every time